I hope this letter finds your hands, friend. My latest travels have brought me to Stros, and no one here has seen your sister for 3 months. I fear the worst. I feel obligated to stay for a few weeks. I'll be at the Dragon Tail Inn should you return. Tobias.
Ah, Cyrus. And how do you do?
Brennan, can I have a minute?
Anything for your like, Cyrus.
I am looking for my sister Izara. Perhaps you have heard of her.
I'm afraid not. Before the Empire cleaned things up, Stros was a pirate haven, avoided by honest merchants like myself.
The pirates who attacked us spoke of a restless league. Have you heard of them?
Other captains tell me the remaining banditti have organized themselves against the Empire's crackdown on smuggling and piracy.
How has Stros fared under its new Imperial masters?
The locals are still chafing at the bit, but in time, they will come to appreciate the benefits of membership in the Empire.
That's so, I am meeting a friend at the Dragon Tail. Can you direct me?
I can't recommend it, but it's the only drink hall in this godforsaken town. Off the bridge, you see to the right, through the gate to the town square, you will see the sign.
The Empire has done well in its conquest of Hammerfell, you think?
Absolutely. No offense, but Hammerfell is in need of some law and order.
It seems the Empire has not eliminated all the pirates from Stros.
Apparently so. They've become bold, attacking a ship so far into Hunding Bay. But give it time. The Empire has only been here a few months.
Thanks. We'll talk later.
Well? Lad?
Hello, my name is Cyrus.
And mine is Trithik, lad.
I'm looking for my sister Izara. Perhaps you've seen her?
I do not know the name, but so many have been lost since the dragon arrived.
She went missing about 3 months ago.
If she was with the Crowns, I would count her among the casualties. Richton's slaughter was elegant only in its thoroughness.
The ship that brought me here was beset upon by some rascals called the Restless League. What do you know about them?
They were the necessary cancer of a nation divided and at war, grown at the borders where the kingdom's skin is most contested by the foreign sword. Fearless men, whose names are all too often breathed in hate. Don't believe them too wrong, for even the prince had their ear.
It seems quiet here, especially for a port city. How fares Stros under Imperial rule?
Defeat is read in every native face, my boy. The war cost the city much, including its voice. The crowns are no more, as kingless as Yokuda, lost now to song which no one will sing, lest Richton hear. Overmuch, the governor is the reason Stros is so quiet.
I have not heard mention of Yokuda since my childhood.
The first land, where the Redguards came from in blessed Hunding's day.
I saw the statue of Hunding on my way into port. I'm surprised Rickton hasn't leveled it yet.
He cannot or will not, for it keeps the goblins out of Stros Mackay, out and under it. Such is Frandar Hunding's grace that he blinds them still.
There are goblins under Stros Mackay?
And worse, but you needn't worry about them. They are doomed to the dirt and bother the Redguard no more.
What did the Imperials do to the prince?
A Tor was slain at sea, and there his body was lost, thankfully. Already the obligatory prophecy of his return has begun, spoken in hush, an ill surrogate for true hope this season. The Redguard should know better, be blind to desperate omen. Fasad's son has left us, wind swift and sadly, never to return.
So Ator had dealings with the Restless League then?
Never open league, for then even the Crown thought the League untrustworthy. Now they are Hammerfell's last. Ator's death sent them into hiding, and Dragonfire keeps them there.
How can you be thankful that Prince Ador's body was lost at sea?
Insofar that the seabed may claim them before the necromancer does, that is all. That his soul may rest easy from the snare surround.
Tell me about the necromancer.
A westward evil, a seat in the ash-gray shoals, on parade now that the Empire's here, lad. So don't die.
What is the snare surround?
The necromancer's curse, writhing in the near here, only a death away. Its magic snatches at your soul, should you perish, to fuel some darker deed still.
How far west are the shoals?
Not a day's journey. Just follow the path over the, bridge.
Should I fear death more than normal then?
The snare waits for those who don't.
This dragon, an imperial metaphor perhaps?
Banner and bone, young Redguard. Seek the old quarter if you want to see the handiwork of both.
I fear that my sister's disappearance had something to do with the Civil War.
I read more than fear in your face, Redguard. Either retribution or redemption. Alas, sometimes they are the same. Neither can come without wounds.
I said nothing about redemption or...
Why else would you be here, in this narrative? In you...
How can the two be the same?
In their concern for blood. In blood as closure. I assure you, it will be spilt before you find your sister. A prayer may do you well.
Where should I pray?
At the Temple of Blessed Arcade. Brother Niddle presides there, and he knew most of the people in town. He may know something about your sister.
Where is the temple?
In the town square, shoreside from the pool.
Perhaps I should speak to this Rickton then.
Spoken true, my boy. But I'd advise against it. The Imperials suffer no Redguards in the palace, unless you're forebear, and you walk on too few legs to be that.
What do the Imperials plan to do here?
Confusion often follows conquering. But if Septum does have a plan for Hammerfell, it hasn't been made clear. I suspect a greater plan than constant terror, for Rickton has men all about the island, not just here in Stros Mackay.
So I can't get into the palace then?
Not unless you can produce something that Rickton will desire.
Has Tiber Septim made the crown suffer much for their resistance?
Through his agents, yes. But I fear that the provisional governor is an especially wicked feast to swallow. The blood has slowed to a trickle, if only for lack of targets, and the crowns who survive still remain silent.
Can a Redguard not even admit his allegiance to the crowns openly?
I can't speak for the rest of Hammerfell, but such an admission here is martyrdom at best. A persecution of silence reigns in Stros Mackay.
Tell me of the forebears.
throne defilers all, hosts to the invader, and Hunding's shame.
What happened to the old court?
It was the last stand of the Loyalist crowns, and Governor Rigdon had it destroyed. It smolders still, all ash and dragonfire. Few escape the incident.
Thanks, Trip. I've got to go.
Well?
Hey, sailor.
May I trouble you for a moment, my lady?
Lady, you say? You must be new in town. Besides, Fiona would have remembered you.
Cyrus, at your service. Do you know a young lady named Zara? My sister, last seen over 3 months ago.
Zara, yes. I see the family resemblance. Can't say I know her, though. She was all caught up in them troubles we had when the young prince was killed.
What is news around Stros these days?
That it's best to keep your mouth shut or end up in the catacombs. Or worse.
Have you heard anything about a group called the Restless League?
They claim to fight the Empire, but they seem more interested in plunder from what I can tell. They make a point to target forebears, though, so I guess they aren't all bad.
A friend is meeting me at the Dragon Tail. Do you know it?
Sure, Sienna knows it all right. Used to be a favorite of mine till that damn lizard barkeep got all high and mighty on me. Does this friend have a name?
Tobias. Do you know him?
Did Hunding hate goblins? Of course I know him. One of my best customers, and I'm no lie. Any friend of Tobias is a friend of Sienna. I'll be happy to help you out any way I can.
Maybe you can help me. Tell me more about the recent troubles in Stros.
You know, the civil war between the Crowns and the forebears. You really aren't from around here, are you?
Tell me more about the Crowns.
They supported Prince Ator after his father died. True Redguard patriots. More's the pity.
What of these forebears? Who are they?
Forebears? Pah! And they call me a whore. Sold out the prince and left us with the streets full of fine soldiers and not an honest ring to any heel.
Was my sister involved in the Civil War in some way?
Well, I don't want to spread gossip, especially not to her brother. But they say she was friends with the prince. Good friends, you know. So it's no wonder she disappeared when Fat Boy came to town.
Fat Boy?
Oh, sorry. I mean His Imperial Highness Provisional Governor Lord Ripton.
This lizard barkeep. An Argonian?
Don't know his politics, but that Drakius is a damn nuisance to us working girls. Pretentious of grandeur he has. Nobody before bears in there now anyway, and I wouldn't catch their gut for any copper coin.
You don't care for Drakius, then?
Well, he's not a bad sort for a lizard. Him and me just don't see eye to eye on the friendship of the thighs, so to speak. But he knows anyone who's anyone on this island, no mistake.
Tell me about this Rigdon.
He's a bad one, he is. Fiona can tell. Invited me up to the palace once, but I won't be back. Maybe Fiona's not a fine lady, but she's an honest working girl and doesn't like being treated like dirt. And she definitely doesn't like being watched by that sneaky, prick-eared shadow.
These catacombs, some kind of a dungeon?
That's where Fat Boy's houses any crowns he can catch. Under the palace, where the dragon is.
Where is the governor's palace?
The poor dead prince's palace, you mean. Just keep climbing up the hill. You can't miss it. But don't expect to sneak your way in.
Who is this shadow you speak of?
Fat Boy's pet assassin, Ram. A ghoul from furthest Morrowinds, they say. Those red eyes of his are watching. No, Sienna won't be back to the palace. Not for all the coin in Hammerfell.
A dragon lives in these catacombs?
That's how Fat Boy beat the Crowns. The Imperials, at least, think the dragon's still down there, laying about on the Royal Sea of Coin.
We'll talk later. Be careful. It's locked. One moment.
Go about your business, Redguard.
It's locked.
Ahoy there, sailor. Can I have a word with you? Greetings, stranger.
What can I do for you, friend?
The question is, what can I do for you? The young stranger in town, fearless, footloose, and fancy-free, a little light of purse, perhaps? I have a proposition that may appeal, but first allow me to introduce myself. Kataro, contractor of Stros Mackay, at your service.
Saris. Charmed. I wonder if you know my sister, Izara. I've come to Stros Mackay to find out what's happened to her.
I'm afraid I don't know her. I'm just a simple working man. You might try Dreekius up at the Dragon Tail. Pretty much everyone in Stros Mackay passes through his door eventually.
What do you know about a group of ruffians calling themselves the Restless League?
Damn them and their bloody-minded ways. They've done more to ruin Stros Mackay than the Four Bears and Empire combined. If it weren't for them, this city would have been at peace months ago.
I haven't been in Hammerfell since before the war. How do you like being a citizen of the Empire?
Sure beats war, my young friend. I won't lie to you, though. Hard to find honest labor these days. Four Bears would rather smirk than lift, and the Crowns don't have the back for it anymore.
Sounds like the Crowns are taking their defeat pretty hard.
Yeah, I've always stayed out of politics. Bad for business. Crown, Four Bear, I don't care. As long as their coin is true. My philosophy is, what's done is done. Live and let live. The grass is always greener, you know.
I guess the Four Bears are still savoring victory in the Civil War, eh?
Yeah, you could say that, although you might not want to say it in their faces. They're a touchy lot these days.
I've been up north for years, but I was pretty sure the Four Bears won the war.
Of course they did. And the Four Bears like to bust up the Dragon Tail just in case anyone doubts it. Some ungenerous Crowns like to point out the Imperial flags flying all over the palace and the Imperial soldiers patrolling the streets. None of my concern, though. Haha, you know what I mean?
I'm supposed to meet a friend at the Dragon Tail. Can you direct me?
It's the only watering hole in town. Follow the ramps uphill to the town square. Bit of friendly advice? Watch your step. The Four Bears are a touchy lot these days.
You call yourself a contractor. What does that mean?
Over here we have someone who needs something done. Over there we have someone who's looking for work. How do they find each other? That's where I come in.
Tell me about this job you have for me.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's palace. Now, to be honest, I've been having trouble finding someone to take the job. But I'm sure a robust lad such as yourself pays no attention to silly local superstitions. Are you interested?
Sure. I'll take the job.
Splendid. Here's your 100 gold. I'll have the rest for you after you deliver the amulet to the governor. Well, I'm sure you won't have any trouble, but, you probably want to do this during the daylight.
Refresh my memory about this job you hired me for.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's palace.
Nagasta?
A harmless old hermit. The more superstitious of my fellow citizens repeat silly rumors about him, but I put no stock in their tales. He lives in the old wizard's tower, just far of the shoals on the northwest side of the island.
Any idea what's so important about this amulet?
That's between Nagasta and the governor. I just get paid to find a delivery man.
How much are you offering for this job?
Like I said, I've been having trouble hiring for this job, so I'm upping the rate a bit. 100 up front and 200 more after completion.
That's pretty high for a simple delivery. What's the catch?
The pay's proportional to the danger. Nagasta's tower isn't exactly on the main road, you know? So you may have a little trouble getting there. Nothing that you can't handle, I'm sure.
Where can I find the governor's palace?
Straight at the top of the hill. You can't miss it. The grandest structure in Stros Mackay, maybe in all of Hammerfell. Quite the tourist attraction before the late unpleasantness.
What superstitions do the locals harbor about this Nagasta?
Oh, you know, they call him a necromancer, prattle about him stealing people's souls, armies of undead, you know, that sort of thing. Nothing a well-armed fellow like yourself would worry about.
How is the Restless League responsible for ruining Stros Mackay?
Burning or plundering half the cargoes headed for this port, stirring up the Imperials to ever more ruthless repression. The League doesn't seem to realize that the war is over, and they lost.
You're saying the League was allied with the Crowns?
That depends on who you ask. I don't know. I'm not one of your political gentlemen, always in someone else's business. I'm just a poor working stiff. A bird in the hand is better, you know what they say.
Dreekius?
A friendly local lizard. Not that I have anything against him, or her, or whatever. Can't ever tell with those Argonians. Runs the Dragon Tail, the tavern on the town square.
We'll talk later. One moment.
Sorry, man. Imperials everywhere. I don't talk with strangers.
Excuse me.
Times are hard in Stros Mackay. Can't help you, fella.
Cyrus, sweetheart. Cyrus, sweetheart.
Hello again, my lady.
Come give Siona a kiss, you sweet boy.
We'll talk later. Be careful. A word.
Haven't got a coin to spare, stranger. Try someone else.
It's locked. It's locked. What's this? Excellent. It's locked. It's locked.
Well,
Hello again, Trip.
still alive.
Thanks, Trip. I've got to go.